you tell us your full name and where you're from?
My name is Fernando Goodman, and we use two last names in Costa Rica, Jimenez. I was born in San Jose, so they tell me, and in 1949,
1949.
June 10th, 1949. And I came here in 1965.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was January 1965. My father was already here. Half of my family is from the States, and the other half on my mother's side is from Costa Rica. So actually I came here to meet my dad.
Really?
I remember him when I was a child, but then I didn't see him for a few years. Then it was time for me to come here and see him and spend some time with him, and I guess I decided to stay.
Okay. And so how old were you when you came?
I was 15.
15.
I was 15 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that also motivated me to come here was the fact that I saw President Kennedy when he went to Costa Rica in '63. And the government of Costa Rica lined up all the schools from the airport all the way to the university. And I was one of the people there. And I always told everybody that I shook his hand. At my age, I was wondering if I really shook his hand or I just extended my hand, so either one. You know, I mean, the proximity was right there. I could see his face and everything else. The only thing is that I tried to get closer and I couldn't because the Secret Service then stopped me. But that was one of the things that motivated me to come here.
Okay.
So I thought, well, I'm going to see my dad. And I had other relatives here.
Okay. So did you come by yourself or did you?
I came by myself.
You came by yourself. And then how did you come here? Did you fly, take a train? How did you do it?
No, I flew.
You flew?
I flew the Costa Rican airline at the time, LAXA. It was Costa Rican airline. And I remember that I landed in Los Angeles. That was the first port of entry. And it was a sunny day, but when I got out, since it was in January, it was so cold. And I was wearing a suit, but it was a tropical suit for the tropical. And I saw everybody else putting on their sweaters and jackets and everything else, and I thought, okay, my suit was enough. I froze.
Really?
My knees and everything. Because it was first week in January, so and it was cold. Sun was out, but it was cold. Yeah, I have it very vivid in my mind when I got off. And at that time, we had to get off the plane, go to the tarmac, and walk to the gate. And that was the coldest that I've ever been in my first 15 years.
Really?
Not that even the language and how people perceive that certain languages are, the people that speak that language have more culture than the others. And I can tell you that when I came, of course I have different ideas because the Americans that I dealt with in Costa Rica, well, just by the mere fact that they were there, they knew of the shortcomings that a lot of people have, you know, both in Costa Rica and the United States. So they were different than what I found when I came here. You know? And like I said, even the Hollywood experience, it was so different. And a lot of people, like they would ask me, one of the things, maybe I went a little bit off the subject here, but one of the things that I remember, I was asked, I look at my watch. I was wearing a watch. And I'm looking at my watch, and one of the people, and this was in Helena, Montana, yeah, he says, "Oh, you know how to tell time?" And I said, "Yes, why?" "Oh, we didn't think that in the part of Mexico you're from." They didn't even ask me where I was from. They assumed that they didn't. There are a lot of Indians there. That's exactly what they asked me. And I said, "Well, yeah, I learned how to tell time. I didn't ask, I said in Costa Rica, where I'm from. You didn't ask me where I'm from." I said, "But why wouldn't I tell time? Why wouldn't I know how to tell time?" And they said, "Well, that's what we thought. We thought that that's something that they also had seen in the movies. You know, like they saw people in the jungles of Brazil, and they asked me if I had a monkey as a pet. Yeah, what's that? Did you? And I said, "No, the only time that I see monkeys is when I go to the jungle." "Well, don't you live in the jungle?" "No. It's a city. It's got streets." I used to tell, but you know, I mean, I couldn't really blame them because they didn't know.
Yeah.
But that was, yeah, that's one of the things that I encountered, that people thought that I knew less than I really knew.
So when you came here, was there a different, like, did you have an ideal of what the United States was going to be? And then when you came here, was it different from that? Or did you have any like expectations of what the U.S. was before you came here? And then did that change when you got here?
Well, what most people, I think, especially if they're in Costa Rica, if they've come here and they don't remember, or they haven't come here, is Hollywood. Hollywood is what you expect to see, you know. And it was a bit different. Yeah, it was different. Because as a matter of fact, when I got off the plane, I thought I was going to see Lucy and all these other people. But because it being Los Angeles, you know, I wasn't aware of the distances. Because in Costa Rica, half an hour is a long way. It's a small country. But yeah, Hollywood makes it look so glamorous, so different.
When you were growing up in Costa Rica and you were watching, did you watch a lot of movies that were from that portrayed the United States?
Yeah, with subtitles.
Yeah. And what did you think about the U.S. before you came?
Oh, paradise. Yeah. People have no problems. There's no problem. Look at that. You go, you buy a house, you go and drive your car and go to work, and that's it. I wasn't aware of all the other problems. You know, be it racial problems or money problems or any kind of problems. I wasn't aware of that, or how people felt about different cultures here and all that. I wasn't aware of that because they didn't show it. And, oh yes, I thought I'm going to go there and I'm going to go to paradise. And of course I found out that it was different.
Was it a big shock?
In a way it was. Yeah, it was a shock. Because things are not the way you thought they were. And that was one of the reasons why I came here. You know. And then I thought, well, I'm going to stay, and here I am. Now, don't get me wrong. As far as let's say this is my personal opinion, so I know it's not yours or anybody else's, it's mine. The politics here are different to the politics in a lot of our countries. Although sometimes I think it's changing now. But people apply the politicians here seem to have more leeway. Like they can criticize the government. I know of places where I've been, in Nicaragua and other places where if you say anything like that, then you'll be blackballed, you know, you don't come here, or you know,
Yeah.
things like that, because you just express yourself. So it's good and bad. It's, you know, we have to take the good with the bad. It's just that my idea was that this was paradise. No problems. People had no problems when they came here.
Yeah.
And you know, like any place where there are human beings, there will be problems. I said the portrayal now is a little bit more accurate than before, because as a matter of fact, I thought that there were very few black people in the United States. Yeah. That's what I thought. Because you didn't see them like in the movies, you didn't see them. Or unless they mention, well, in such and such a place, you know. But for the most part, no. And that was one of the things that I noticed that very same day when I came to Los Angeles, that the young lady that helped me was an African American. And not only did she help me, but she knew Spanish, she knew English, and she knew German because she was helping a German couple. And I said, well, oh my God, you know, what a big difference.
Yeah.
And she was the one helping the people there. And they didn't, at that time, they didn't show things like that, you know. Hey, people are people,
Yeah.
no matter what.